And I came here today to say I think Eddie Nketiah is the best striker in the club. And like we were saying, Fabio Vieira, the great assist to Eddie Nketiah. Off the bench, Eddie Nketiah scored a goal. It's what we've been asking for, because more often than not, this is going to be his role at Arsenal. But we need to respect Eddie Nketiah. We need to respect this guy. I think people will probably, they were happy with his Crystal Palace performance. That's for sure. Then Trossard getting the nod. As a fan base, we like Trossard. So I don't think anyone had a massive problem with Trossard starting, but I think people did acknowledge that. Feel bad for Eddie. Like Eddie didn't score against Crystal Palace, but played very, very well, especially when we were down to 10 men. It wasn't easy. Trossard comes in and he has a stinker. Let's just say what it is.
Stinker.
He has a stinker. Eddie comes on and we have a striker. We have a presence in the box, especially because Trossard, obviously, as we know, goes everywhere. And Eddie Nketiah scored a goal off the bench, which he just doesn't do. Another, sharp finish, which doesn't really happen much in our team. We need to respect this guy. I've been saying this guy he's a predator. Like, my affinity for Eddie Nketiah comes from when I've watched him in the under-21s. And yes, it's youngers football and stuff. But if a man knows how to put the ball in the back of the net, like he can do it at level, at whatever the level is. So, we have to respect him. And I don't think we do enough, apart from when, he bails us out of a situation like he did on the weekend, or he's still kind of bailing us out when our main focal striker's not around, but he pops up with goals when he starts. But we just don't respect him enough to see him as he's his own man. Like he's not an understudy.
Yeah, and I think he got the captain's armband again when the guard went off. So he's definitely moving up in the ranks in terms of his influence and things like that. And this kind of brings me back to the whole conversation we had about having these sort of players who do break the mold of our style of play. And again, people will say that maybe Arteta overdone it, but like you rightly said, we like Trossard, so we didn't mind. People were happy. The overall consensus I saw was that people were happy for Trossard to start, and he had a stinker. But Trossard is definitely more adept at doing the interplay link up. I'll go left, you come middle, and I'll drop, and to this and that. Maybe not so well as Eddie, but Eddie is a goal scorer. I know maybe people say like the record, he hasn't scored over this and that. But when you look to games to goals ratio, is very good. It's up there. And again, he showed us that hopefully we can say in maybe a couple of weeks' time that he's adding the ability to come off the bench and impact the game. And if he does that, then he becomes even a greater asset to us. I think he took his goal great, and like you said, unlucky to start. It reminds me again of like the Kieran Tierney conversation we had in terms of having these players who don't fit the mold, but they offer us something different which we don't have, which again is able to kind of break the mold. It's a bit different. It's a different what's the word I'm looking for? Conundrum for the opposition to solve, because he doesn't fit the mold typically. So big up to Eddie. But what do you think? Do you think he should start against United?
Yeah. I think Eddie should start against United, and Gabriel he was on the bench on the weekend, but that's a choice off the bench. I don't think that Trossard deserves another chance. Like, we dropped Nketiah ultimately for no reason. Let's be completely honest. We dropped him for no reason, maybe for rotation, if that's the reason. I don't know what he's maybe said to them. If they don't bag a goal, then you can't start the next game. He's got obviously some players to work through in terms of rotating aside, whatever the case is. Like, Nketiah deserves to start now. He's come off the bench. He should not have been dropped in the first place. He's come off the bench and he scored. Like, he's the one that's been playing. He played a hell of a lot in preseason, which we recognized at the time as well. Maybe he's the sharpest. Maybe he's the sharpest right now. So and we're seeing the dividends be paid. Like, this is 3 games, 2 goals. Can we ask for more? We could have asked for maybe a couple at Crystal Palace, but you know, in terms of like a striker average, he's averaging. Kane has played twice in Bayern Munich and scored 3 times, but that's Kane. Like, so you see what I mean? He's doing what we're asking him to do. He's the only person at the club in terms of strikers doing that right now. And I came here today to say I think Eddie Nketiah is the best striker in the club.
I wouldn't be mad at you for saying that.
And I'm being very specific when I say the word striker.
Yeah, I hear you, because I know people will come and make noise. No, I'm with you. I think he is like out and out striker. Yeah, definitely. You know, like I said, unfortunately, like we've had many a conversation about Gabriel Jesus. If he was able to add finishing and striking to his repertoire, he'd be like top 5 in the world. You know what I mean? Like, he would be different level, but he's not, unfortunately. And where he does bring so much, unfortunately, the goals area is lacking. If he can add this season, brilliant. But right now, especially being at home, I think you have to start Eddie. I think it's, you know, Arteta spoke very early on about building a meritocracy. You know, you play well, you get started. You train well, you get started. And yeah, he's doing everything that I will believe the manager will be looking for. He's got to start. If he doesn't do it, of course, or we need something else, sub him. But you got to give him the opportunity to say, all right, I've been earning my spot in the team. And until I show that I'm not at the level, he should be our number 9, you know, in the classical speak. Jesus maybe might need a little bit of time to get up to speed, because I thought it was quite interesting how he was like the very, very last sub to come on, like when we were going gung-ho, basically. So that kind of told me, again, that Arteta's not trying to rush back players like he normally does. But yeah, again, I give Eddie the nod against United. Brilliantly taken goal and doing his bit, man. Doing his bit.
And that is all he can do with the time he's afforded. You know, unfortunately, you find yourself in that position when you're coming on, you know, the team's 1-0 down. They bring on a striker and everyone wants you to score a hat-trick. Like,
trust me.
It's a stupid position that you, like, all these other positions, it's just like, get on the ball. Like, if you're a midfielder, just get on the ball, make something happen, or cut out this, blah, blah, blah. But with a striker, it's the pressure of, I'm bringing you on, put the ball in the back of the net. And that's the only thing that changes the thing on the screen from 1-0 to 1-1 or whatever the case is. Like, that's the only thing that will result in you getting 3 points. It's the pressure of the job. He has dealt with it. It's another question he's answered. The first question was, can he deputize for Gabriel Jesus? He showed us last year that he can. Then the next question is, he needs to learn, you know, can he score goals from off the bench? Albeit it's just a 1 goal, but he's answered the question. Yes, he can. So, listen, I think he's the best striker in the club. I already said, I think earlier this season when we started recording, that Gabriel Jesus, maybe this is why Arteta's not kind of trying to invest in another right winger, because he's looking at Jesus, and as great as he is, and let no one think that I don't think Jesus is great. I think he is a brilliant player, not a badsman. And I'm not under any illusion that we're gonna sign a striker in the summer. I would bet big money that we're signing a striker in the summer.
I think so, 100%. 100%.
Especially if we get rid of Balogun, like.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the Balogun thing, we've been hearing rumors that it's going to be done soon to Monaco. I'm not too happy about the money, but we move. But I feel like definitely, if not even January, you know, we're still hearing the rumors of Tony and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can just say within the next year or so, there will be a new striker at the club. And I think that's why he's maybe holding out, like we're suggesting now, on buying that right winger, because Jesus would be an excellent right winger. I know he doesn't really invert per se, but Jesus can go either way. He'll take you inside on his left. He'll go to the byline. almost like Saka without his left foot being his natural one. Yeah, I think he'll be top to play on the wing like that. So, but yeah, man, more stock in favor of Eddie, man. I can't knock it. The guy's doing what he's paid to do, and he's doing it well. Coming up against a United defense, which isn't amazing. He's bagged 2 against them last season. Who's not to say he could repeat that and do it again? So, yeah, man, I'm Team Eddie right now.
Yeah, until it's a situation like you're saying, if it's all based on merit, if Gabriel Jesus has a storming week in training, this, that, and the other, maybe he'll start him against United. But for me, if to be honest, if you start Jesus against United, I'm cussing. I'm gonna cuss Arteta because
regardless of the outcome, I think again, it goes against the whole meritocracy. It goes against someone's coming and showing you, like this person was out injured. I'm meant to be the second in line, and outside of tactical need, I should be the starting number 9. There's no reason to not play me, and that showed in this game against Fulham. So yeah, if he doesn't start, I'll be quite disappointed on that level. If we go and win, a win is a win. But at the end of the day, I feel like on that level, Eddie should start. If it's not working, you want more interlink and blah, 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 of course, hook him or do something else. But yeah, he's earned it.